Hey, Vsauce, Michael here. Nah, more like white wrinkled t-shirt with Noah at 1:30 in the morning here. Welcome to my 2020 MacBook Air i3 versus i5 gaming comparison. I'm going to be running a quick Unigine Heaven benchmark test. Then I'll be opening Minecraft, CSGO, Asphalt 9, which is a metal game, and then for a split second, Fortnite. So we will get a taste of this game with at least one of these laptops. You'll understand what I mean in a minute here. I ran into some technical difficulties.
Maybe gonna do it. Maybe, I don't know.
SpongeBob?
No, I'm not. Of course I'm not. I have to spectate fucking people. But anyway, hopefully this gaming test gives you a good idea as to which variant you should buy. But before we jump into things here, I'd really appreciate it if you leave a like on this video, comment. If you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, as the YouTube algorithm likes that, and will help push my content to more people. I can't believe how many times I've said that. It's getting to the point where I say it so much, I'm like, if you are a recurring viewer, feel free to click the bell icon. It does help the channel out a lot if you turn on all notifications. Before I switch to my main camera and jump into the individual game tests, I want to quickly run a gaming or graphics benchmark between the i3 and the i5 model that I have here using Unigine Heaven. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. Basically just, will benchmark the graphics processor in your computer. So I have it set at the extreme preset, OpenGL, of course, 1600 by 900 on both of these. Yep. And I also have 100% battery capacity on both here. I charged both these laptops up. So throughout this test video, we'll see how they fare and which one is more power efficient. And just something interesting, both of these laptops have the same graphics. They have Intel Iris Plus graphics with about 1.5 gigs of video memory. So I'm really curious to see just how much processing power or the individual processor plays a role in the benchmark scores that we'll get in a minute here. All right, the results are in. With the i3 model, we have an average FPS count of 7.5 and a score of 190, min 4.4, max 15.8. And then with the i5 model, we get an average FPS of 8.2, a score of 207, min FPS of 5.2, max 18.1. So there's a definite increase in performance with the quad-core i5 model. But again, this is a benchmark. It doesn't represent, real gameplay, I guess. I mean, sort of, but you have to take benchmarks with a grain of salt. So we will actually jump into real games here in a second to really see if this hardware difference makes a difference. So with the benchmarks out of the way, now we can jump into actual gameplay. And my logic here is I'm going to start out with the dual-core i3 model. I'm going to gauge my enjoyment and just the overall performance in-game with this laptop. And then I'm going to jump up to the quad-core and see if I notice any major boost or a substantial boost in performance. So first up, we're going to start off with good old Minecraft. How could you not? This is the Java version. Everybody plays this. It's been super popular for the past decade, and this is a game pretty much any device can run to some capacity, but of course, some laptops can run it better than others. So I'm going to create a new world here. I'm going to call it i3 World. Oops, so let me just type this in, i3 World. It's going to be creative so we can fly around. And I'm going to time how long it takes to generate this world. That will give us some idea of the performance of this i3 processor. So stopwatch. Okay, 3, 2, 1, create. So we got this running. Okay, so 22 seconds just about to render this world and to get into it. Let me press F3 or function F3 to get a better idea of the frame rate that we're getting. Once again, if I haven't already said this, we are doing fancy graphics, smooth lighting maximum, render distance at 20 chunks, unlimited frame rate. Yeah, so and all particles on, clouds fancy, etc., etc. And as I walk around, I am getting 22 FPS, 18 FPS. It's not an unplayable frame rate, but it's definitely not the best. Let me lower the chunk render distance to the standard 12. And I'm not getting much of a difference in terms of FPS here. So 27, 26. Let me fly and see if I get any higher frames. 21, 24. So under 30, interesting. And we are at 2880 by 1800 in terms of resolution. So that might be something that we can change here. Full screen resolution, how about we put it at 1280 by 800? That might be better. And immediately the frame rate jumps up. Not by much though. Let me see here. 26, maybe it wasn't rendering at that. Maybe this display is inaccurate, or maybe that's like the max resolution this game can output with this. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but you know, 24, 27. Let's adjust things to fast graphics and smooth lighting to off. Okay, 37 FPS, already better. 28, 29. Not too much of a difference, really. But I mean, like, this is playable. I mean, 30 FPS is playable. I use shaders on my gaming PC, and I get, like, 30, 40, 50 FPS. And in Minecraft, not a big deal. Like, it's not like a first-person shooter. You're moving more slowly, I mean, unless you're fighting a bunch of mobs. So, not the biggest deal. Let me adjust another setting here. I'm going to bring my render distance down to 10. How about I bring my max frame rate to, I don't know, 60. VSync is on. I will bring... maybe turn all particles to decreased, clouds off. Let's bring the resolution back to current. Okay, 37 FPS, 30 FPS. So this is what I'm getting. 47, 44. Okay. All right. So with the i3 model so far, if you adjust the settings, you know, turn off fancy graphics, whatever. Let me see what I have here once again. Fast graphics, smooth lighting off, render distance to 10 chunks, max frame rate 60, current full screen resolution, VSync on particles decreased. I'm getting, let's see here, 47 FPS, 42, 36. So anywhere from like the high 20s to, you know, 50 FPS like I just saw here. So not bad. It's definitely playable, but this is definitely not the best Minecraft experience out there. Alright, so we're in Minecraft with the i5 quad-core model. I'm going to change the settings. So I had it initially at 20 chunks, if I remember correctly. I had an unlimited frame rate on. I had fancy graphics maximum, smooth lighting on, VSync on. And I gotta change my GUI here to 4. Yeah, everything else is the same. Clouds, fancy particles, all. And I'm gonna create a new world on here called i5 world. We had about 22 seconds in terms of just how long it takes to render a world with the i3 model. Of course, each Minecraft world is individual, so the timing might be a little bit different. 3, 2, 1, create new world. Okay, so it took about 22 seconds with the i5 model. I actually did another test. This is my second test because another one that I did took longer to render, like 25 seconds. So I was like, maybe that's a fluke, maybe I clicked too soon, but it appears that each Minecraft world is individual. You know, some might take longer to render than others. But yeah, I would say in terms of just creating a new world, similar speeds between the i3 and the i5 model. So let's do F3 here just to see what kind of frame rate we're getting. And once again, I'm seeing similar numbers here, 30 FPS, 25 FPS, 24 FPS, with the same 2880 by 1800 resolution being displayed here. That's what it says right here with Intel Iris Plus graphics. If I fly around, similar frame rate. I would have expected more, to be honest with you, but you know what? Let's actually lower the settings like we did here. I'm going to lower them to fast graphics. I'm going to lower the render distance to 10. I'm going to bring the frame rate down. Let's just bring it to 60 or lock it at 60. VSync is on. I'm going to turn smooth lighting off and also turn particles to decreased and clouds to off. And we'll see what kind of frame rate we're getting here. So still 26 apparently. 22, 23, 32. Let's fly over towards this forest here. See if it makes a difference. This is kind of an environment we were in last time or with the i3 model. So let's do 1280 by 800, see if it makes any difference. Not really at all. 28 FPS, 30 FPS, 26, 32. Let's see if I can get into the 50s maybe. So yeah, I mean, I am not seeing that much of a difference between this model and the i3 model. I think that the graphics really is the limiting factor, or really more so the clock speed. Maybe Minecraft isn't taking advantage of the quad cores here, or the 4 cores with this i5 model. So yeah, I'm getting, you know, around 30 FPS in some cases, mid 40s, maybe 50 here and there, but pretty much high 20s, 30s, and possibly 40 here and there. So really not a big difference between the two, regardless of what kind of settings you have on here, whether you have it, higher with, longer view rendering or chunk rendering distance, or, with fast graphics and no clouds and decreased particles. So yeah, similar Minecraft performance across the board. Now we're going to move on to a Steam game, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. This is pretty easy to run on most devices, but, we're going to run it on here just to see what kind of frame rate we get, of course. Alright, so here's the video settings on both my i5 and i3 variant. I have medium graphics settings enabled. The resolution is 1440 by 900. Laptop power savings is disabled. Let me scroll down here a little bit more. Auto 8x MSAA is on. So everything's at medium, and multi-core rendering is enabled as well. So let me go back, and we will play a team deathmatch game mode. So play CSGO. I keep forgetting you have to double click, so I'll do deathmatch, and we'll do Dust 2. So I'm going to join the terrorists because I enjoy the AK-47. Okay, so we got, so I'm already dying. Oh, that person already. So I'm at 11 FPS, 32 FPS, 41 FPS, 42 FPS, 48. I know it's disgusting. I'm playing with a trackpad. I'm sorry. 51 in here. Once again, everything is at... Okay, that was a pretty sharp lag spike there. This game right now with these settings is not very playable in my opinion. Just the constant lag spikes. Let me adjust the video settings a bit more here. I'm going to go to... Yep, I'll let that person kill me. Cool. I'm going to decrease the resolution here. Let's go 1280 by 800, shall we? I will apply the changes. Hopefully it doesn't take 5 years. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. So frame rate might be smoother. So yeah, 43, 37. Switch to my sidearm. I need to get at least one kill. Come on. Oh, am I just stupid? I'm just stupid. I got somebody. Good. Okay. I swear, I'm decent at this game, but with the trackpad, no. So I'm getting anywhere from like upper 30s, mid 40s, occasionally 50 with the i3 model. Once again, let me just check the video settings here. I'll let that person kill me. Oh, it didn't change. So 1440 by 900, medium. So I guess I'll keep the same settings with the i5 model just for consistency. So yeah, that's CSGO for you. Once again, 1440 by 900. Everything is at medium. We have 8x MSAA, widescreen. Everything is the same, and I'm going to go into a similar environment. I'm going to play Dust 2, and we're getting 38 FPS in this game. It's kind of jumping all around here, just like the i3 model, similar performance, not really consistent. Not particularly enjoyable or playable as well. I mean, like, if it was just a consistent 30, oh, I literally killed my teammate. That's just really great. Anyway, what I was saying was, if the frame rate was consistent, like 30, I'd be fine with it. I could probably play it, but it just jumps all around here. You'll probably see in a second here, but I see like a little stutter right there. That ain't good for FPS shooters. So what I'll do is I will adjust these settings like I did. Yep, so I'm gonna die there. I'm gonna bring the resolution down to 1280 by 800, and of course there has to be somebody talking in the chat. So I'm gonna keep it at medium. But yeah, I mean, it looks like the frame rate is a bit more stable at this resolution. It's somewhat playable, just like it was with the i3 model. But yeah, okay, so I keep dying here. Long story short, I'm not seeing any real difference in performance between these two models here. The i3 and the i5 seem to push this game at a similar frame rate here. Kind of choppy and a little bit better at 1280 by 800. So next up, let's open up an App Store game that's made with the Metal API, and that is Asphalt 9. You can play this on iPad and everything, and I don't have an FPS counter for this. I tried to find one, it just doesn't work, so I'm just going to gauge this with my naked eye. We're going to play full screen. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So far, frame rate seems okay. So Nitro, heck yeah. Drifting. Whoa. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Yeah, I mean, Since this is made with the Metal API, maybe this runs better on Apple hardware or Apple hardware configurations. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't think it's exactly 60 frames a second, but I'm not, struggling or anything. I'm not enjoying my experience here. And I mean, the graphics on here aren't exactly like the best ever. Like, I think this is like an iOS game or an iPad OS game, so you can't expect it to be like anything like PC level. I mean, it does look pretty good, but if you look closely, like, it's a little rough. It seems like it's more for a mobile platform, but I mean, from this distance, it looks great. But yeah, definitely not 60 FPS in my experience here. So there's that with the i3 model. Enjoyable, not 60 FPS, but I like my time playing this game for sure. So once again here, this is a Metal game. It is more optimized, or probably is better on an iPad, or looks better on an iPad, because the graphics here aren't like perfect, but again, like I said, at this distance, this game looks fantastic nonetheless. And it performs pretty well. I personally am not noticing too much of a difference between the gameplay on here versus the i5 model. It's still not quite 60 FPS, but probably in the high 40s. Again, I don't have a FPS counter to use because nothing works with this game in my experience. I couldn't find a tool that works for me, but I mean, I can drift here. Maybe it's a tad bit better. I was playing this earlier side by side just to test it out to make sure the game was working, and I did notice maybe a bit of an increase in performance with the i5 model, but again, not noticing too much of a difference. Like I said, this game doesn't run at quite 60 FPS on either of these laptops. And again, I think that the Intel Iris Plus graphics with 1.5 GB of VRAM is calling the shots on, what kind of frame rate output we're getting with both of these MacBook Airs. Alright, so last but not least here, we played Minecraft, we played CSGO, we played Asphalt 9. Now we're going to open everyone's favorite game, apparently, Fortnite. So let me open the Epic Games launcher. So we're at windowed full screen, 1440 by 900. Frame rate limit, I'm going to cap it at 60. I'm at medium quality settings. My cat needs to shut up. Por favor, can I just play this game, please? Okay, this is still loading. Maybe it's my internet. I have no idea. This is really annoying. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna quit because this is stupid. Okay, so we're quitting Fortnite for right now. I'm gonna reopen it, and I might just do creative, my own creative server or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna try creative mode now or whatever, just so we can get into the game. It might not be on a server, but at least I'll get to run the game to show you how it performs. Joining a server, please, dear God, please, just let me get into the game. Just please, God. Oh my God. Is there a downtime? I don't understand. I don't get it. I give up. I'm done. Okay, so Fortnite not launching on this laptop. I don't know if there's a scheduled downtime, just my luck. The day I want to record this, comparison or this performance test, it's not working. Oh, please, just work. Just fucking work. So settings, I have everything set at medium, 1400 by 900. Brightness 100%, 3D resolution 88%, motion blur I'm going to turn off, FPS counter on, apply, I'm going to go back, we're going to try to play here with this laptop. Please, schedule downtime for patch starts at 2 ET, so it's not quite 2 AM yet, so maybe that's what they mean. Okay, so apparently I can load it, but it's not going to load for some stupid reason. Oh, God.
I was certain I had found the person I was gonna end up with.
Oh. Oh my God, I loaded in. Oh my God. I loaded in. I'm just an impatient look at me. Wow. I loaded in. It took 5 years. But I loaded in. Are we in focus? The battery's about to die. Oh, excellent. Let's just see if I can get a second of gameplay on here. Do I have the FPS counter on, please? Okay, so I'm having 15 FPS. Of course the battery has to be. My life is a wreck. Jesus. Okay. So I'm going to skydive. 14 FPS, 13 FPS. Okay. With these settings, I'm getting 12, 11 FPS flying in the air. Please, I hope to God my laptop doesn't die, or my camera doesn't die. Please don't die, please don't die, please don't die. Okay, once I hit the ground, let's just see here. God, I'm so happy this is working. Okay, 10 FPS, 11 FPS. Not great. Oh, my camera died. I hate my side of my life. God fucking damn it. So my camera died while I was playing this game that finally loaded after 15 years, and now I just got shot. Okay, you know what? Okay, listen here. I'm gonna just, yeah, okay. I'm not doing this right now. Let me just get into the frame here. I look like a crazy person. I probably am. Anyway, can we just, yeah. Hey, so I think I can deduce, that both of these laptops with the 1400 by 900 resolution, you know, whatever, just the settings that I had mentioned, are going to give you like, you know, 11, 10, 15 FPS. Because games have performed similarly in 3 different occasions, 3 different games, Minecraft, Asphalt 9, all that, I'm going to make an educated guess, or more like a deduction, right? Like, it's not quite just a guess out of the blue, but it appears that the i3 model and the i5 model are going to give you similar Fortnite performance. I would say it's safe to assume that the i5 might give you a bit of a performance boost, as we saw with the Unigine Heaven benchmarks. I look so creepy, by the way, but long story short, yeah. Poor performance in Fortnite with both. You probably have to lower the settings super low to get any playable frame rate, but at that point, why are you playing Fortnite on your MacBook Air anyway? Just get a gaming laptop like an Acer Nitro or whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna turn the camera off this angle because I'm not happy with it, but yeah, I hate my internet, I hate this game, I hate the fact that it takes 5 years to load, so please forgive me, but yeah, that was the taste of Fortnite I could give you, okay? Like, it's what time is it right now? It's like 1:41 in the morning. I want to have content for tomorrow, and yeah, that's it. I'm done. So hopefully this was satisfactory to you, and if not, maybe someone posted more in-depth Fortnite tests on some other channels. So I apologize if this wasn't in-depth enough, but thankfully we got a slight taste of the game before my camera died, and you know, all that good stuff. So life. Oh my God. And that about wraps things up here. Once again, I have concluded that both of these laptops, despite their hardware differences, run games at pretty much the same speed, the same frame rate, whatever. You might get a slight advantage with the i5 model, but again, if I've already said it, these laptops aren't particularly oriented for gaming, but they can game. You know, you can play a game of Minecraft or CSGO, okay, but honestly, I'd recommend getting a dedicated gaming laptop if you are more into gaming anyway. But yeah, hopefully this video was helpful. And honestly, if you're not doing like photo editing or video editing, of course, this is an assumption. I still have to do a performance-oriented test. The i3 model should be fine for, you know, some light gaming, if you will. So yeah, I'd really appreciate it, once again, if you leave a like on this video, comment if you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, and of course, subscribe for more content like this. And as always, I'm Noah, and I will catch you all in the next one.